Hey, how's she going, boys? Mike here. Welcome back to Grampie's Workshop. I'm glad you're here today. We're going to start building drawer boxes today for our bench. So I tracked down a bunch of pieces of 3/8 plywood because we're going to form the drawer boxes out of the 3/8 plywood. And I spent a bunch of time making some drawings, you know, for the dimensions and all that. You know how that goes. And so what I've been doing the last little bit here is just going to work and from all these pieces, trying to make the best use of them and cutting the fronts and sides for the drawers. So I've already cut some side pieces here for the drawers. So I'm going to continue to do that, lay them out on these scraps of 1/2 inch plywood that I have and see how many drawer pieces I can get. Come on along while we make some drawer boxes. So I'm trying to cut out the pieces now for drawers 3 and 4 on the bench there. So I've got the sides cut already, I just showed you those ones. But what I need now is I need 4 pieces 7 inches high by about 18.5 inches long. So I've got some pieces here, 7 inches high. Anyway, I have to sort through these pieces and try to organize them and get a good handle on what I have for stock, because I don't want to cut and waste, right? I just don't want to do that. Well, I tell you, boys, I was struggling to find enough material, scrap material, to make my drawer boxes, but I think I have enough material here to make all the drawer boxes for the left hand side of the bench. So there's 4 narrow ones at the top, 1 wide one at the bottom. So I think I have all those pieces here. The thing I have to do now next on these drawers is I have to cut a rabbet joint along the face here of each of the side pieces to accept the fronts, because I'm going to make a rabbet joint here. That's how I'm going to join the boxes together. Alright, a little bit of setup I've done here. I put my stacked dado head cutter in the saw and I set that up for 1/2 inch thick. I have that set for a depth of half the thickness of the plywood, which is 1/4 inch. Let's try it. Okay, so there's the 2 sides with the rabbets. Okay, I'm going to cut the other sides of the boxes the same way, and then I have to stop, take some time, figure out what I'm going to use for a bottom. So I got my boxes all cut, ready for assembly. I have to figure out the bottom like I was saying earlier, and then we can start to build some drawers. I'm going to start to assemble the drawer box now. This is drawer number 1. It's going to go in the top left hand section here of the bench, and I just temporarily put the bench top back on here so I'd have a surface to work on. So I'm just going to put some glue on these surfaces here right now, and you've seen me glue up before, so there's not much new going to be happening here. Okay, so this is going to go like this. Now, what I've decided is, as far as the bottoms for the drawers, I'm going to assemble the drawer box and I'm going to put it on the router, or on the router, and route out the bottom rabbet to accept the base. I'm going to mount the base flush on the bottom. Okay, we'll put this one in here now. So this goes in here. Alright, so that's the first box. That's 32 and almost 1/8. 32 and almost 1/8. So that's just about square the way it is right there. So I've got the drawer boxes piled here. So I'm going to let those dry overnight. Okay, so next day, and the glue joints and all these drawer boxes dried up really good from last night. The drawers are nice and solid now. So what I want to do is I want to make a rabbet around the bottom of the drawer boxes to receive something like this. This is some rance wall sheathing that I had. Remember on the front behind the bench I had rance wall sheathing, but when I took that off, of course I saved it, so that's what I'm going to use this for. What I've got here then is my router set up with a rabbiting bit in it, and I've got it set for about a 3/8 inch depth. I want to do the bottom box first, and the bottom box is the biggest one. Here's the bottom box. This is how big the drawer is going to be. That's a big drawer, isn't it? Well, I'm just not sure how it's going to work. It's going to be interesting, to say the least. But anyway, there's only one thing we can do, and that's to try it. So let's go. I made quite a mess here. What happened is my router changed height. So consequently, I've got a route around the bottom here that's about 3/4 of an inch there, 1/2 an inch there, 3/8 there, 3/4 of an inch here. It's just a gall-dang mess is what it is. Of course, it's the biggest and the hardest one to work with, and that's why it messes up. So I'm going to try and measure the base now and cut a piece of the sheathing to go in here and just see what kind of a mess we can make out of all this. I don't think it's going to be very pretty, but it's the bottom drawer. I'm not going to use it very often, and I'm only planning on putting cutout patterns in it anyway, so it might not be so bad. Okay, now all I have to do is round over these corners here, and then we'll be able to place it in the bottom of the box and see how well it's going to fit with that mess I made trying to round out the bottom of the box. Man, oh man, I made an awful mess of that. Oh well. Let's see how this fits. It's a good job it's a drawer that I'm not going to be using very often, that's all I can say. There you go. Like I was saying, this drawer is not going to be used very often. It's going at the bottom of the cabinet. I'm only going to put patterns in it, so it's, you know, it's a sin that I made a mess of it, that's for sure. I feel bad about that. But it's not the end of the world. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some brads down through here. I'm going to put some glue on it, put some brads down through there, and I'm just going to fasten that up like that. And use it. So it's just a little secret that this is all messed up. So don't want you telling anybody, okay? So let's put some glue in here. It's a little bit out of square. 47 15/16. I think that's got it. Yipper. All right, let's try to put some brads in this. Well, you know what? It doesn't look real bad on the inside. It's all tight around the edges. It's just not the same depth all the way around. Anyways, so this box is ready to go in the bottom of the drawer of the cabinet. But before I install it, I'm going to put together the other boxes, put the bases in them similar way I did this. Just hopefully when I route it out, I don't make such a mess. Okay, I did a little maintenance on my router. It turned out the collet was pretty rusty, and when I thought it was tight, it really wasn't tight. So I cleaned it all up good, and it should be better. So we're going to try and do this smaller box now, do a 1/4 inch rabbet inside, and put a base in it. All right, let's try it. work a lot better. So it goes to show you, a little bit of maintenance will do. See how this fits. Not bad, you know that? That's 32 1/16. 32 1/16. That ought to hold it. So there's another drawer done up. So I have the drawers made for the left-hand side. Now I need 2 more drawers to go in here. So these drawers, I'm going to have to use this kind of a slide on them, and this is, I don't really like these slides, but that's all I have, so that's what I'm going to use. But that'll be okay. So what I did was I laid out where those slides are going to go, figured out the height of the drawer, and then the width of the drawer, and the depth of the drawer, and I kind of made a little cut sheet here. So then I went scrounging for materials to make sure I had enough materials. I need 2 fronts, 2 backs, and 4 sides, and 2 bottoms. I know I have the material for the bottoms, but I was doing some scratching and clawing here to try to find material for the fronts and the backs and the sides, but I think I have just about enough to do it. Okay, let's put this in again. Then put some braid in it, hold her together. Okay, so that's that. Now we put the bottom of the other one, and we'll be ready now to start putting the drawer slides on and install these babies. I'm getting to the point where there's nothing else to do. I got to put the drawers in. So I'm going to start with the bottom drawer. It's the biggest. It's probably going to be the hardest one to work with. All right, I'm trying to get set up here. What I did was I made some more of these brackets, just a piece of 2x4 on the edge with some 1/8 Luan there, and that's just to space the drawer more or less off the bottom. I also have my fancy dancy laser level going. That's what this green line is, so you can see that that's just at the top of the slider at that one, and look at that one too. Anyway, it fits in the opening. That's a good start, eh? This is the drawer slide right here, and I want the drawer slide to be just, you know, flush with the front of the drawer so that I can get these measurements right. That doesn't look too bad right there. All right, check that, see. That's 1 3/4 inches. And that's 1 3/4 inches. All right, so that's not bad there. Okay, I want to put one on the other side now, just so that the drawer stays kind of halfway straight. Almost 1 3/4 inches. One 11/16, 1 11/16. Okay, that's not bad. I'm going to pull the drawer out now and see if I can get another screw in it. Yeah, that's good. What I have to do now is I have to take the drawer out to finish putting the screws in these sliders. So let me see. Lift up on that. Push that in. Getting it back in will be a chore. There we go. All right. Okay, so now I can put some screws in the back here. Has to go in there. It's a two-man job. There. Just 1 second now, I think I got her. So there's the drawer, full extension. It might need a little tweaking, but anyways, I like it. So that was quite a struggle to get that drawer fitted. Anyway, we're going to set up now and install these other drawers, and we'll be done here pretty soon, it looks like. All right, I got them all in. It was quite a struggle. They need a little bit of tweaking, but for the most part, they're in and functional. And the best part is, they're full extension. Well, there you go, folks. What do you think of that? I've got 7 more drawers. These aren't the full drawer extension sliders like on this side, but they're going to be okay. The drawers are deep enough that when you pull them out, you can reach in the back, no problem. Well, doing this bench up with the drawers and all took a lot longer than I thought. But anyways, I'm glad I got that done. That's a big step, eh? Thanks a lot for watching. Sure hope you're enjoying these videos about me putting my shop back together, because I'm enjoying them. And don't forget, thumbs up me. Leave me some comments if you get a chance. Have a great week, folks. We'll talk to you.